Hello, it's James from the 11 Plus Tutors again. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of the students and parents of new people embarking upon their 11 Plus journey. The process can seem daunting at first, but I think I've just honed it down to a few key issues I think to focus on when starting out. So, without further ado, one thing I come across a lot on my travels is parents who purchase every single book in WH Smith's or on Amazon to do the 11 Plus. That can be very daunting. Obviously there can be duplication of things that you're trying to achieve and quite a bit of redundancy there. So it's really good just to narrow down your focus into just a narrow selection of really high quality resources. So I think that leads me on to my next point, reading. Obviously, a lot of children are enjoying reading things like David Walliams and, you know, Diary of a Wimpy Kid and so on, which are great fun, and Harry Potter, but they're not really what the 11 Plus providers are looking for. They're looking for children typically that are reading maybe 1 to 2 years above the reading age. So I'm afraid to say it, your child's going to have to get used to reading popular classics. You can build up their tolerance. You can mix in, say, just 1 or 2 chapters initially. For example, a book like Treasure Island can be very daunting for a young child. So just reading the first chapter and then having a dialogue with your child can at least get them accustomed and used to that kind of Victorian-esque type language that they're going to have to get used to in the exam, potentially. On this point, if your child's preparing for the CEM variety of the 11 Plus, my belief is that the vocabulary needs to be broader. I often recommend that children could start reading articles from broadsheet newspapers like The Guardian or The Telegraph, obviously with parents vetting that material to see if it's child friendly. History topics, science, the environment, these are all good things. They could be read online or cut out. Again, I would recommend that children just write down a few new words and maybe some kind of dialogue to do that. The next thing I'm going to talk about, I'm going to put a link in the description below to my other YouTube video where I talk about drilling down on and doubling down on sentence fundamentals, because what I see is a lot of children are coming through and they're not fully understanding what makes a good basic sentence with you know, a good main clause and what the key components are. The next thing I'm going to come on to is maths. What I also find is not to knock schools at all. They're under immense pressure from Ofsted and so on to cover a broad curriculum, but we find that we need to drill the fundamentals, okay? Place value, decimals, fractions, just really drill. Your child literally has to know how to do that stuff back to front, like literally back to front. In the CSSE style of exam over the last couple of years, we've seen more and more questions where they're giving the answer, they're giving part of the question, and your child has to fill in the blanks, so they literally have to know the process inverted. So just really doubling down and really drilling on fundamentals is the way to go. On a final point, psychologists and so on have actually conclusively proved, that children's retention ability to learn really peaks at about 20 minutes to half an hour. I would always recommend, and I do with my homework, that it's chunked down into 30-minute blocks over the week and distributed that way, rather than one solid couple of hours on a Sunday afternoon. You will definitely see diminishing returns with that kind of approach. So I hope you found this interesting and informational. Please subscribe, follow my other videos, take a look. Hopefully I'll be giving you updates along the way. Thank you and goodbye.